Hi everybody, welcome back. Today we are talking all things designer bags, why I sold all of my luxury bags, why I won't be buying any designer bags ever again, and I'm also going to talk to you about 3 new in mid-range bags that have come into my collection recently that honestly I think are leaps and bounds above their designer alternatives. I feel like it's died down a little bit now, but over the last couple of months obviously there's been a lot of discourse about designer bags, dupes, influencers selling all of their Birkins and designer bags, and I'm a little bit late to the party with this video. Typical. If I'd have made this a month or 2 ago, I probably would have gone viral. Now probably only my audience is going to actually watch it, but that's okay because I wanted to gather my thoughts, think about why I actually sold all of mine, because I actually sold all of mine a little bit before this kind of controversy and this became a topic of debate. It was before Lydia Millen came out saying how she was selling all of her designer bags. It was probably a couple of months before that I decided to sell the very last one of my designer bags. So I wanted to give my perspective why I did it. So I actually think I'm going to show you the new bags first because I want to start on a positive note, and I'm really excited to share 3 new in bags to my collection in some fun summer colours if you're looking for inspiration. So first up we have my new travel laptop bag. Now the brand that I always go to for travel bags specifically, but also if you are a corporate girl or you need a big bag for work or a laptop bag, they do some fantastic options for that as well. I obviously don't really need that, but I definitely do need travel bags. Actually, the last time I travelled, I tested out one of their other bags, one of their tote bags, loved it, and now I'm testing out the Marina carry-all, a little bit bigger than the last one. So this is definitely like a weekend bag, one of those bowling bag style shapes that you can take with you if you're taking carry-on suitcase or if you're just going away for the weekend and you need a big bag to chuck in all your stuff, or you're taking it to work and you want something that is going to carry a lot of stuff. So this particular bag from OLEADA, as I said, it's called the Marina carry-all. I have it in this chocolate, beautiful brown colour. I absolutely love this colour. Definitely has like a tinge of a red to it, so it almost pulls a little bit burgundy maroon in some lights. It's got the gold hardware. This is a top grain butter soft Napa leather. I love that they do use real leather. A lot of travel bags I find, or big laptop bags, are faux leather or nylon or other materials, and I actually just much prefer a natural fibre like in all of my wardrobe. So I love that they are using the real Napa leather. It is absolutely beautiful. It's very soft actually, but it does feel quite sturdy. I do find with a travel bag you need something hard wearing, so you can't have something too soft, and this is kind of a nice in between. This has a separate laptop compartment, so it does fit a 14-inch laptop. So if you have your laptop with you, I always bring my laptop traveling because I work for myself. I always don't know if I'm ever going to need my computer with me just to do a little bit of work here or there. So that's really good. It also has different compartments and different ways you can wear it. You can wear this in 5 different ways, which is kind of the USP of a lot of OLEADA's bags. A lot of them can be worn as backpacks or as shoulder bags, crossbody, or like carry-all top handle bags as well. It sits really nicely on top of a suitcase because it is kind of that slightly east-west style. I find that it's not too tall, so it doesn't wibble wobble on the suitcase, and it also has the strap that slides over the handles of your suitcase as well, which I just think is genius, and I have never seen that on another bag brand's travel bags before, and it just makes sure that if you are running through the airport, if you're late for your flight, or if you're standing in a lot of queues, you know your bag is really secure on top of your suitcase. Finally, it also has this little card holder here, so you can have a card, an ID in here, or you can have this little additional little pouch that you can add to your bag. I know bag charms are so popular at the moment, and I'm just not a fan of the Labubu's. I'm actually going to make a whole video on Labubu's and the like. If you don't know what they are, Google them. But yeah, I'm not a fan of that, but I am a fan of like practical bag charms and bag accessories, things that you can actually use and aren't just random bits of tat. And this is really great. I actually think I'm going to put my AirPods in here. It's the perfect little AirPod size, so if I do want to reach for them during the flight or in the airport, they're really easy to grab and go, because AirPods are something you can lose in your bag, especially a bag this big, really easily. So it's nice that they are on the outside, and you can get these in different colours as well. I went with like a contrasting red and brown. I thought that was quite cool, but you could get it in the same brown colour if you wanted it a little bit more subtle. If you're not someone who needs to carry a laptop anywhere and you're looking for a work bag that's on the smaller side, something something that reads quite formal but is still pretty, I would definitely recommend the mini anchor, especially in the pistachio. They've actually just brought it back. It was limited edition and now they're bringing it back for a certain amount of time because it was so popular, and I absolutely loved that, especially the colour. It's such a gorgeous colour for spring summer, so definitely check that one out as well. They are running a promotion at the moment. If you would like to get 20% off your order, I do have a discount code, so I'll leave that on screen as well as in the description box down below. The second bag that's new into my collection is from Ateliers Auguste, one of my favourite mid-range bag brands, usually for like everyday crossbody mid-size bags, and this one is no exception. Now the thing with Ateliers Auguste is I absolutely love them. I will say the quality is outstanding, probably some of the highest quality mid-range bags I've ever tried. I've never found like a single crease or flaw on any of their bags. They are beautiful, but I will say that before they used to do very neutral bags. They didn't really do too much colour. It was all very like black ecru brown, which definitely has a place in my wardrobe, but as you'll know, I love a bit of colour, especially actually within my accessories and my bags. I have so many colourful bags that I love, and so when I saw that Ateliers Auguste had just brought out a new range of colourful bags, I was so excited and I couldn't wait to get my hands on one because they have some stunning colours. I feel like they've waited to do colour, but now they've done it. They've done it really well. They've picked some beautiful shades. So they have, I think they have a few. They have this blue, which is absolutely gorgeous, so unusual and perfect for summer. I love a blue in summer, especially paired with white. And they also have a very soft, delicate pink. I already have the pink bag, obviously, so I didn't go for that because do you really need 2 pink bags in your collection? Probably not, but I don't have a blue bag, so I went with this one. But the pink, if you're looking for a pink bag and you're looking for something in that very soft, like ballet, light rose pink, it's absolutely gorgeous. It's actually kind of similar colour to my dress. This is a little bit lighter and the bag's a little bit more pink, but it is really stunning, very delicate looking. And they have all of the different colours in the different styles. I went with a new style. I've tried a few Atelier Auguste bags before, and this is a new one to me. They also have the silver hardware, I forgot to say. This is stainless steel hardware, so super high quality, but it is in the silver. I know I've definitely had comments before from people who love the look of Ateliers Auguste bags, but exclusively wear silver and so didn't buy a bag because they only had the gold hardware. So if that was you and you left a comment like that on one of my videos, go and have a look now because they have a few colours with the silver hardware. I think it's limited edition though, so maybe order quickly if you really want one. But yeah, it's really stunning. It looks beautiful against the cool tone blue. I think they've also changed the clasp as well, because I remember on my older Ateliers Auguste bags you used to pull the whole thing up, whereas now it functions like this. You push down on that and then you lift that. Arguably probably slightly harder to open, but that's probably good for security. And then this bag is really cute. It comes with a crossbody strap, like pretty much all of their bags do, but actually I'm planning on wearing this mostly as a little top handle, just held like this. I think it's adorable. Perfect for summer holidays, perfect for, yeah, really fun, like even as like a wedding guest. I don't think it's too big for that. I mean, depending on how big of a bag you like to bring, but yeah, really gorgeous. The leather is top notch. The shape is gorgeous, and they have so many different ones now to choose from. So that is one of my top recommendations. If you're maybe steering away from designer bags, maybe you used to be really into them and you're looking more into mid-range these days, Ateliers Auguste would definitely be one of my top bag brand recommendations. And the final bag that is new into my collection is from a new brand to me, a brand I've never tried until recently, and that is LM. I definitely heard of them. I think they went viral a couple of years ago because Taylor Swift wore one of their bags. I feel like that was right. But now they have loads. I've definitely been using this because I have loads of receipts. They have loads of new styles this summer, some really gorgeous ones. They are quite well known for doing what I would consider like Bottega dupes. They do have a bag that has like the gold metal handle that you hold at the top that looks very similar to one, is it Athila? I think it's like the sardine bag from Bottega, that has the fish handle. The LM one is a little bit more subtle because it's not a fish, it's just a gold handle, which I prefer. But I actually went with this bag, which I feel like is a little bit more of an unusual style from them, maybe not quite as popular, but I felt like it suited my style really well, and I've been wearing this loads. I've had this for, I would say, about a month or so, and I've worn it absolutely loads. I love the colour because it's neutral. It is obviously the trendy butter yellow, but I don't feel like I will tire of this even when that trend inevitably comes and goes, because at the end of the day it's like just a slightly different take on a nude or a beige or a brown, really, but it looks really good with summer colours, and I love the woven texture. Oh my gosh, I have so many receipts in this bag. But yeah, I have really been using this a lot, and I just really like the size and shape of it as well. It is a shoulder bag, so sometimes I find that shoulder bags aren't as comfortable as crossbody bags. However, the drop on the strap on this one is quite long. It's definitely longer than some of my other shoulder bags, so it doesn't get caught under your armpit. It's quite comfortable to wear. The only negative I will say about this bag, I love it and I will continue to wear it all the time, but when I did open it straight out of the box, it did have this crease. I don't know if you're going to be able to see. I think you can see that down the middle of the bottom of the bag. So I was like, that's kind of annoying. I wish that wasn't there, especially straight out the box. I know leather is inevitably going to crease with time and show signs of wear, and I am more than fine with that. But I want something to look pristine as soon as it's coming out of the box when I haven't even used it. Do you know what I mean? So I was a little bit disappointed with that. Not enough to send it back, because it's on the bottom at the end of the day. If it was on the side, I probably would have, but because you can't see it, I was like, it's fine. But I just wanted to warn you because I was a little bit disappointed by that. But otherwise, I do absolutely love it. So those are the new and mid-range bags in my collection. Let's talk about designer bags and what I've sold. Now, I am not a Lydia Millen. I didn't have a huge collection of Birkins or anything like that. But I had started to dabble in designer bags from about a couple of years ago. And I think it's that inevitable lifestyle creep. When you start to earn a little bit more money, your taste inevitably sort of gets more expensive and you think, well, now I can kind of afford these bags, albeit I was buying them secondhand, not new. I don't think I could have ever justified a brand new designer bag. They just aren't worth the price to me. However, I was thinking secondhand, you can actually get some really good deals. It's quite fun hunting them down and finding a really affordable kind of older style, maybe from a few years ago, that you always coveted and loved when it was super popular, and now it's kind of fallen out of favor a little bit. You can get it for a really good deal, and I do still like that, and I do still think that designer bags work on some people. I have quite a few clients on Index at the moment that have a different style to me, and they wear designer bags really well and they really suit their style. Even logoed bags, monogrammed bags, and I love the look of them when I style the outfits with them. But for me, I realised after owning a few designer bags, especially ones with big logos and monograms, it doesn't suit my style. And I think that's because my style is quite delicate. It's very soft, it's feminine, and a logoed bag or a monogrammed bag or a big like brash designer bag just looks too jarring against my soft style. And I think that's something I didn't quite realise or anticipate when I first started buying these and coveting them. I just presumed because I liked the look of them on like the website or on someone else or against a white background that I was gonna like it with my outfits and my style and on me. But actually, after a little bit of trial and error, I realised that they always seem to make my outfits worse, and I was actually never reaching for my designer bags over my mid-range bags because I much preferred the way a non-logoed, non-monogram, non-designer bag looked against the rest of my outfits. So I think that was the first thought I had and the start of my kind of thought process about potentially selling them on. The next reason I decided to sell my designer bag collection is because I just don't think they're worth the money. And I think that is obvious to a lot of people, but especially when you're buying them secondhand and you're getting them at a fraction of their retail cost, it can almost be like a misconception. They can almost feel like they are good value because you're thinking, wow, I'm getting this 70% of its retail price off, if that makes sense. And what I've realised is the law of diminishing returns is very real. And that is why I love mid-range fashion, mid-range clothing and bags so much, is because I think when you are choosing a mid-range brand that focuses on quality, there is a noticeable step up from if I bought a bag from a fast fashion brand or Shein, or, you know, a really cheap bag from a market stall or something like that is maybe made of synthetic materials. Faux leather is cheaply made, very poor quality hardware. You can visibly see the difference between that style of bag that is maybe $50, £50, and a bag like this that might be $400, £400. And even though the step up in price is high, it isn't as high as when we're talking about designer brands. And I just feel like if you're getting a noticeable step up in quality, you can justify to yourself the price point. But when I was buying designer bags and wearing designer bags, I very quickly realized that the quality was basically the same as my mid-range bags. And yet the price point was, well, at least if I was buying them new, was probably like 5 to 10 times the price of my mid-range bags, which is crazy, right? Wild to spend 5 to 10 times more on something. This is essentially made of the same materials, similar craftsmanship, similar quality. It's kind of mind-blowing when you think about it, and you do wonder why anyone buys them. And it definitely, I guess, has sparked this discussion at the moment about whether luxury brands and luxury bags are actually worth it. And I just found that because I wasn't seeing any noticeable difference in quality, I was really questioning why I'd spent that much on them, even though I'd bought them secondhand. So I had my Loewe basket bag. I think I sold that first. That was the one I bought first as well. And it was a raffia bag, the classic Loewe basket bag, you know the one. And the reason I sold this is for the first reason I spoke about. The fact that I love this on other people. I love the way it looks. I don't love the way it looks on my outfits. I would much rather wear a woven leather bag like this that has a similar kind of beachy vibe than something that has like a massive logo slapped on the front. It's just like, every time I wore it and put it on, I just wish the logo wasn't there. And if you take away the logo on that bag, it is just a straw bag that you could probably pick up for £10 in a market or on Amazon. So that really made me question why I had it in my collection in the first place. So I sold that one first of all. This kind of sparked my whole spiral of selling. The next one I sold was my Loewe QB bag. Now this bag was a bag I coveted for I think about 3 years. I think I first saw this in 2021, ended up buying it secondhand in 2024, and I really thought I was gonna love this bag. I love the look of it. I love it on other people. I've seen this bag on other people. It looks amazing on them. I actually think it would look kind of good with the outfit I'm wearing now, but the outfit I'm wearing now is unusually plain for me. Normally I wear pattern, more colour, and so this bag just always clashed. It's the only monogrammed bag I've ever had, and I didn't quite anticipate it being that difficult to style because I thought it's such a neutral monogram. It's such a neutral monogram that it's going to go with everything, but it really doesn't. I just feel like if you're wearing any kind of pattern, you don't want to wear it, so you have to wear plain block colours, and I don't wear plain block colours very often. I usually wear just a little bit of pattern or at least bright colours within my outfits. So that one had to go. It was also really annoying to carry on the shoulder. The drop on the strap, as I mentioned with this one, the drop on the strap is pretty long, so it's really comfortable. That one was really short, so it was properly like up into your arm, and it just didn't work for me. The next one I sold after that was my Celine box bag, and this was like a dream bag for me initially. It was one that I had lusted after for many, many years because it is like the iconic box bag. There are so many box bags that are sort of inspired by this bag, and I have a lot of them from some of my favourite mid-range bag brands. And so when I got the Celine one, I thought, this is it. This is like the creme de la creme. This is the one I'm going to reach for all the time. I did love the green colour of it, and it was a very pretty bag, but there were a few reasons why I never ended up reaching for it. The number one reason being, it wasn't that I was worried to use it actually, because I'm not very precious with my things, even the expensive things. I just want to wear them. But it was leather lined on the inside, which made it a little bit heavy, but also made it really small on the inside. It was already a small bag. It was one of my smaller box bags, I think because it was in the mini size. But because it was leather lined, the lining itself actually was quite bulky and took up a lot of the room within the bag. So you could barely fit anything in there, which was number one. Now, obviously this bag doesn't have any logos. It is really an if you know, you know bag. So it was less about the design element and the logo element and then on matching with my outfits. That was less of an issue with this bag, but it really was the size, and it was also the fact that I just prefer my mid-range bags. It just kind of made me realise, although the leather quality on the Celine bag is exceptional, I will say Celine leather is beautiful, so soft. It definitely did feel slightly higher quality than my mid-range bags, but not like 5 to 10 times the quality, maybe 1.5 times. But then I think, why are you spending so much more on it when it's only slightly better than the mid-range? And I actually love my other mid-range bags that are similar shapes. I actually prefer the clasp on all of my other ones. The Celine clasp is kind of ugly. It has this kind of like scratched effect, even though it's not scratched. It isn't a shiny clasp like this or anything that's very pretty or intricate like the Fevette clasps. It was like dull, it was kind of ugly. And it actually made me realise that I was like, I would much prefer this bag if it had the Fevette clasp or even just the APC clasp like this. So that was kind of interesting to me. So I sold that one on, and then the final one I sold, and probably the one that I was most reluctant to let go of, was my Celine Hobo bag. It's called the Leandra bag. This was a very under the radar bag that no one really had heard of, didn't really have a big moment when it was first released. And I always love this bag because I love a hobo style, I love a slouchy bag. The leather, as I said, on Celine bags is really exceptional, and it was very soft. I love the cognac brown colour, but this bag was a nightmare because you can't put a laptop in it. Because of the hobo style, if you put a laptop in it, it just completely flattens out. And also, I felt with the price point, I would just as happily wear this bag, for instance, my bubble woven tote, kind of a similar vibe. I would just as happily wear this, which is like $200, compared to the Celine one, which retails for like $4,000. So yeah, that was my final one that was like, I'm gonna let them all go. This is the last one. It's the one I like the most, but ultimately I'm not wearing it because it's not practical for my lifestyle. If I want a big, honestly, that is my very rambly video about why I sold all of my luxury designer bags, why I will never buy designer bags again, and why I'm very happy with my mid-range bag collection, and why I absolutely love my mid-range bags. I just can't get enough of them. I love this one as well, by the way. This is definitely one of my favourites. But yes, thank you so much for watching. I would love to hear from you. Are you a designer bag girl? Do you love labels, logos, monograms? Do you love designer bags? I know some people really do. And as I said earlier, it really goes with some people's style. But just for me, it's just not for me. I'm not about that life. I would rather spend my money elsewhere or have more interesting mid-range bags in my collection. Let me know your thoughts down below though. Thank you so much for watching. Do remember that OLEADA have that promotion going on at the moment. If you'd like to check out the bag that I showed, the Marina Carrier, I'll leave it linked down below, as well as the discount code that you can use for 20% off. Thank you for watching. I will leave a couple of videos on the screen if you're not done watching. Otherwise, I hope you're all doing really well, and I will see you very soon in my next video.